Hey guys, Rusty Chain here. I just thought I'd give you a little update on the 450. Uh, I got the cylinder together now, got the head back on it, and so I'm kind of working on that right now. But actually, I'm kind of sitting in front of the heater right now. It's kind of cold out in my shop, so I don't have any heat out here yet. But hopefully by next summer we'll get something in. But anyway, I'm working on the 450 now, and as you can see, the head is off of it, or at least the valve cover. And I had a little issue while I was doing this. Basically, to begin with, the valve that was here for the intake was way out of whack. It was probably about 12 thousandths out. I wound up having to get about a 12 thousandth smaller shim in order for it to come into the correct clearance. This one was only 3 thousandths. The two exhausts were, that's here and there, they were still just fine. So there was nothing wrong with that. But this one exhaust, or one intake valve was really bad. So anyway, I took the whole thing apart, cleaned it all up, got it all back together, and thought that I would go ahead and put the valve cover back on. See, I still got my wrench here in the crank. Okay, so anyhow, went to put the valve cover back on, and these holes here, this one and this one, are for the valve cover. And when I did that, no problem, put those in. Of course, trying to find the holes is a difficult enough problem, but anyway, the other hole is on the carriage that holds the crank, and that's part of my problem. So over here, I'll let you know what happened. So this is screwed in here now, but let me unscrew this, and I don't know if you can see this or not. But anyway, that hole right there, apparently when I put the screw into it, it tightened up and then decided to pull all the threads out. So I don't know if when I took it out, most of the threads were messed up and I didn't see that before, or what happened, but nonetheless, I put the screw in and all I did was turn. So had no threads, so I had to take it into, well, I'm a machinist, so I went in and took it into the shop where I work, and I decided to get it fixed up. And here we are back the next day to do that and put this back together. So hopefully we'll get the crank back in, and I'm still kind of hoping that I could get this going probably by tomorrow. So I'd like to get this thing fired up, so maybe we can get it to see if we can get it to start. But anyway, that's where we're at, and hopefully we'll get this thing done. Tired of looking at it. It's been a while, but anyway, we'll get it all fixed up. And then in the meantime, I guess we're going to ride that thing again. And then hopefully Sunday, if it's not snowing. It was snowing the other day, but it wasn't going to stick anyway. So we'll take this thing out. Hopefully we'll maybe go to Riverdale this Sunday. And they've got some races out there, and motocross races, but they've got like 4 other tracks to go play on, so I think we'll do some of that. But anyway, I'd like to get this thing going so I could take it out there on Sunday, so we'll see what happens. Of course, if I run into another issue, that's a whole nother ball game again. But I've taken this head I've taken the crank out of that thing probably 4 times, 5 times now, because the shimming was so difficult for me to get shimmed and get the right shims. I had to wait. I had to order twice. And I didn't want to order a huge kit and just need 3 or 4 shims, but there again, I bought probably that many shims. So just in case. And I also did get shims for the exhaust, but I didn't need them. But anyway, so that's that. That's where we're at. And I'll put this crank back in, and then I'll show you where I'm at from that point. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, we're back. I finally got this thing back together again. I had a little hiccup, obviously. Happens every time for me. Something. So anyway, we got this thing back together now. Chains on. Everything's dialed in. I got all the shims and all that dialed in. So we're all good. Now we're back to the point where I could put the valve cover back on, which is always a chore. But here's the valve cover. And these two bolts here are about the hardest in the world to get in because there's no guide. So when you put the bolt in, you're like doing this, trying to find the stupid hole in the bottom. Ingenious way to put this together, but they could have put a tube in or something for just, you know, a bolt hole. But anyway, so now this is going to go on right over the top of everything. I got everything lubricated. So we put this back on here. All right, so there was my problem yesterday, or yesterday evening. And we'll put that bolt in now, get that out of my hair because I'm tired of looking at it. So look at how easy that goes in there. You probably can't see it now. There's no light in there. But anyway, there's that one. And these two bolts here. By the way, I'm trying to play with this camera too a little bit. It's got a motion on it, and I'm actually bouncing it around right now, and I don't know if you can see that or not. Supposedly you're not supposed to. So now comes the time to try to get this back in here, and it might take me two hands to here, so I'm gonna have to hold on for a little bit. Okay, so got them bolts finally started. Yeah, it took me a couple minutes, but yeah, I wish there was an easier way to put these on here, but that's the way it goes. All right, so now should be able to just snug them. It should all be good. Now I've got oil on the gasket already, so you kind of want to just put a little bit of oil on there to make sure that's not going to go leaking on you. This is the one that scares me, but I think we're okay. These two actually bottom out, so you don't have to go too far with them. Probably supposed to torque them, but yeah, shit, can't be that bad. It's a freaking valve cover, for God's sake. Okay. All right. Great. Drop the plug in. Get the radiators on. Get the rest of this thing put back together. Got the carburetor over here, worked on it already. Changed the jet, and also changed the needle setting on this. Changed out my O-ring there for my, I think this is my accelerator pump. And got some tubing on there. We'll be in good shape. So anyway, that's about the gist of what's going on. So we're almost done. Hopefully I can get this thing fired up in the morning. And I'm just going to put the minimum on it for now to get it fired up. And hopefully maybe take it for a ride on Sunday. So that's about it. Hope you guys have a good weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye.